My name is Christine Hanna, and I'm the founder and co-director of Seattle Good Business Network. We're a nonprofit network of local independent businesses and residents, about 2.5 years old. We've primarily developed our network through programs that promote local independent businesses, so a Think Local First campaign, a semi-annual dining promotion for local restaurants, holiday campaigns, lots of media relationships. The promotions have primarily attracted businesses owned by people that look a lot like me, so white, middle class, and that operate in neighborhoods of residents that look a lot like me. And until the fellowship began, we've done virtually nothing to reach out to the more diverse and economically challenged neighborhoods in Seattle with our existing programs, nor have we really worked on programs or policy that would more directly address the challenges of building an economy that works for everyone. And it's not because we didn't see a need, although our understanding of the need is admittedly still quite shallow, I'd say, but mostly because it's just complicated and messy and hard. And so rather than make our difficult work even harder, it's been easier to sort of black box the whole question and really just to stick within the realms that are familiar to us, knowing that there's plenty of good work to do there. And then I became a Balle Fellow. And damn it, if they just don't want to keep prying that black box open. And so there has been this very persistent question for me, which is how does a network that's run by white middle-class idealists, that serves mostly white middle-class business owners operating in mostly white middle-class neighborhoods, really address the reality of building a local living economy that must include prosperity for everyone? Because if it doesn't, then really our work in the long run is a waste of time. So it's a very hard question, and it raises all kinds of flags and gatekeepers. Can we be authentic? Can we, will we be seen as posers? Do we have any right? Who do we work with? Where do we start? What if we offend somebody, or what if we screw up? So it feels like there's sort of landmines everywhere. But the fellowship keeps pushing, and Balle is pushing, and our better and braver selves push. And so rather than retreat, because we don't know all the answers and we don't have a grand plan, we decided to take small steps. So in some cases, these are mere gestures that will allow us to develop relationships and be seen as a friendly ally. And we know that each step we take brings us a little closer to a day when prosperity for all is really the driver of our work and not just kind of window dressing. So a few examples of the little steps we've taken that really wouldn't have happened if we weren't keeping that question in front of us and just being willing to start. So one example is that we run this semi-annual dining promotion. It's called Dine Around Seattle, and it promotes about 50 local restaurants, and these are nice, fairly expensive restaurants. And it came to our attention that there was a neighborhood business group in South Seattle, which is where most of the distressed neighborhoods are, that was running sort of a similar, smaller promotion during the 2 weeks after ours. And it's called Plate of Nations, and it's focused on ethnic restaurants in a particularly challenged neighborhood. And we have an email list of several hundred people who are interested in Dine Around Seattle and want to hear about dining type things. And so I contacted the organizers of Plate of Nations and offered to help them promote their promotion to our list. And of course they said, sure, that would be great, thank you very much. And so we did. And it was a small thing. It was easy for us to do, but it was a sincere gesture of goodwill. And I have no doubt that it's the beginning of a good working relationship with leaders in a neighborhood that we had yet to have any connection with. So that's one example. Another example is that a fan recently notified us of an initiative that was being organized by some grassroots groups in a particularly depressed area. And it's a targeted local hire initiative. So the idea is that when the city is spending big dollars on a capital project like a new community center or a tunnel or a bridge or something, that the contractors, the prime contractors, hire some portion of their labor from the affected neighborhood, especially if those neighborhoods have high unemployment rates. So I was inspired, so I simply went to the next forum, and I didn't go with any particular plan or idea about how we might be involved. I just went to listen, I made some contacts, and when I understood what they were trying to do, I offered what I could, which was simply to gather support for the initiative among our audience. And it turned out that that was, in fact, a missing piece for them, which was how to reach the white middle class residents that might be supportive of the initiative, but don't live in neighborhoods that would be directly affected by it. So it was mission aligned, easy to do, lots of goodwill and relationship building. And we're not taking any big leadership role. There's no grand plan. We're not having to rethink our entire organization of programs. And frankly, we're nowhere near ready for that. But my hope is that with each of these first steps that we are moving toward a time and a place where we have the relationships and we have the confidence and the understanding and ultimately the will to make prosperity for all our reason for being. So that's all I have to share for now. Thanks for listening, and have a great conference. I wish I was with you all. Bye.